Hey Gators, my name is Victoria and I am a nutrition student assistant at HPW Center. There are a few benefits of meal prepping. One, it saves money. You won't have to constantly run to the grocery store if you're missing ingredients or having to buy meals out. Two, it saves so much time. By prepping your meals throughout the week, this will help to save time so you can focus on more important things. Three, it reduces stress. With working, school, and life, it's hard to try and plan meals every day for yourself, and we don't always have the time. By meal prepping, you'll have less time to worry about things throughout the week. And last but not least, you can create more balanced meals and snacks. This will help you to adequately nourish yourself throughout the week. Now let's talk about the nourishing four. What makes a meal balanced and nourishing? Variety. We call this the nourishing four. This is the four food groups containing starches/carbs, protein, fiber, which includes fruits and vegetables, and fat. Eating a balanced meal looks different for everyone depending on culture, lifestyle, and food preferences. This is the guide to help you adequately feed yourself. When it comes to starches and carbs, they are what give you energy and keep you focused. First, prep a large batch of grains. Grains like rice and quinoa hold up well in the fridge once cooked. It's always helpful to have a large batch of these grains on hand to put together quickly during the week. Second, get creative with non-grain starches like potatoes. Bake them, boil them, mash them, saute them. Don't forget to add spices and herbs from our flavor. The possibilities are endless. Third, cook your grains first. Grains like rice take a while to cook, so some get rice going beforehand and you use the downtime to prep your other ingredients. By the time your rice is done, you'll have everything prepped for the next dish. When incorporating protein into meals, there are many options within animal proteins and plant-based proteins. So let's look at a few meal prep hacks. Pick one protein and prep it 3 different ways. Get creative with spices and marinades to keep chicken interesting. Try incorporating plant-based proteins because they are filling and easy to incorporate, and it also saves you money. You can also get fancy with plant-based proteins like tofu, beans, and lentils. These are all super easy and healthy protein options that can take up a lot of flavor. So try adding spices to your beans. Prepare your lentils in broth and marinate your tofu to keep meals tasty and satisfying. You can also check out the video in the description box to learn more about how to press and cook tofu in 3 different ways. Try combining an animal and a plant protein for more variety and different nutrients. Plus, it can help stretch protein throughout the meals because it is typically the most expensive aspect of the dish. Also, eggs are cheap, quick to cook, and versatile. Try them scrambled, fried, soft, or hard, boiled, or whatever way you like best. Adding fruits and vegetables to meals add fiber to help fill you up, and they also add color, texture, and flavor to keep meal times interesting. Here are a few meal prep hacks. One, you can roast a large batch of veggies. Using a sheet pan, toss, clean, and cut veggies with your favorite seasoning. Have a batch of cooked veggies ready to go is a great way to add more veggies in your meals. Second, you can chop your veggies ahead of time and store them in the fridge until you are ready to use them. This will save you a lot of time within the cooking process because you won't have as much to prep. Third, you can utilize frozen and canned veggies to quickly add to a dish or to even warm up a side dish. You can highlight one vegetable in multiple dishes. For example, bell pepper, you can roast it for fajitas, you can stuff with rice and beans for stuffed peppers, or you can chop it up and top it on a salad. Did you know that 60% of our brain is fat? It gets a bad rep, but fat is actually crucial to support heart and brain health. They also help increase your feeling of being full and satisfied after a meal. Fats that have the highest nutrient choices include oils that are fully liquid at room temperature, nuts, seeds, avocado, and fatty fish, such as salmon or tuna. One meal prep hack for fats is to add fats as a topping. Top your overnight oats with a spoon of peanut butter for a more filling breakfast. Add avocado to your salad, taco, burger, literally any dish. Make a simple tuna salad with canned tuna to enjoy as a quick snack with your favorite whole wheat crackers. Nuts also make a great topping on oatmeal, ice cream, and mixed in granola.
Hi Gators, I'm Jordan, a dietetic intern here at SF State. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm going to be talking to you all a little bit about the logistics of the meal prep process. Let's get started by talking about some safety and sanitation tips we should always be following when working in the kitchen. First, clean. Always make sure to wash your hands before preparing any food items and after cooking or preparing raw meats and eggs. Second, separate. Always make sure you're using a separate cutting board for your raw meat and egg products than a different one for your produce. This is going to prevent those bacteria or germs that are on the raw meat from getting on any other food you might be preparing. Also, after you're done preparing raw meats and eggs, make sure that you're washing your cutting board or surface area with warm soapy water. 3. Cook. Always make sure you cook your products to the right internal temperature. A lot of the times we don't know if our meat is thoroughly done, so it's really important that we kind of continue to check and possibly even get an internal temperature thermometer. They're cheap, easy to use, and can be found really at any store. 4. Store. Always make sure that you're storing your food within 2 hours after preparing it. And you can store your leftovers in the refrigerator for up to 4 days after cooking. Before you can meal prep, here's a few tips to get you started. First, schedule when you're going to meal prep. It's easier to pick a day that you have a little more free time. That way you don't feel so rushed in the cooking and prepping process. Also, let your roommates or family members know when you're going to be in the kitchen. That way you have a little more space, or you can invite them in to cook with you. And that's going to make it a fun and enjoyable experience you can do together. Also, a lot of people talk about meal prepping long term, such as a whole week. It's important to note that you do not have to do that. You can very much prep for one meal or one whole day if you want to try that out. This is going to help introduce you into the meal prep process while figuring out what works best for you. Second, read and familiarize yourself with the recipes before making them. So often we don't read the instructions and we jump ahead and we might miss a step or it sets us back. So make sure that you kind of read over them and can familiarize yourself with that so it makes the flow go a little easier. Fourth, don't stress. Sometimes the thought of having to prepare and cook a meal seems more complicated and time-consuming than the process actually is. Don't feel overwhelmed. Take a breath and lay out the steps that you're going to follow for meal prepping. Now let's discuss a few tips during the meal prep process. First, keep your space organized and clean as you go. This is going to make the cleanup a lot quicker at the end. Also, sheet pans are your best friends. They are great for batch cooking your proteins and veggies. Also, use those leftover takeout condiments that you have lying around your kitchen. Hot sauce, soy sauce, ketchup. They're going to add lots of different flavors to your food and spice it up a little. Make use of that downtime, such as when you're boiling pasta. That takes a little bit. Try prepping another component of your meal with it. Maybe chop some veggies or fruits. That's going to help the flow go easier and save you some time later. Also, have fun. Play some music, have snacks on hand, dance around your kitchen, watch your favorite show, listen to your favorite podcast. This is supposed to be fun. And lastly, here are some tips for when you're finishing your meal prep for the day. Jot down your thoughts. What worked about this recipe? What did you not like about it? How much time did it actually take you? Also, remember to allocate that time to cleaning at the end. I know that we cleaned a little during it and that helped, but you're still going to have stuff to clean at the end, so make sure you allow yourself enough time to do so. With these tips and tricks in hand, we hope you're feeling ready to start meal prepping of your own. We've linked a few helpful nutrition resources in the caption below, as well as some free food resources we offer here at SF State. Thanks for watching, Gators.